I wonder if I can do it without the script. We'll see. Oh, fuck, I got to do paper, scissors, rock. Oh, well. Anyway, here we go. Modi ore te whānau, no mai hoki mai. Welcome back to the practice run, your frontline pass to the heart of sports action. Brought to you by 99 Dreams, inspiring others to chase their dreams. Brought to you by Tukoerangi and Rawiri. And sometimes we share the space with our friends. And we're diving deep into the thrilling world of the NRL and rugby league. And who knows where the game will take us tomorrow. From the try line to the sideline, we got you covered.
So strap in as we tackle the big plays, the game-changing moments and the stories that define legends. Whether you're a seasoned vet or this is your first hit-up, the practice run is for everyone. Every run, every tackle, every win, experience the rush with us.
With exclusive insights, couch analysis, and a touch of humour, the practice run is here to keep you entertained, informed, and part of our practice squad. Because here, every practice run takes us one step closer to glory.
The Practice Squad, where every listener is MVP, powering our play every episode, every day. We'd also like to thank 99 Dreams for powering our passion. Now let's kick things off with today's lineup.
Yeah, Fardo, look, today is a great day. If you caught State of Origin last night, man, you'll just be as hyped as I am. Unless you're a Queensland fan, then you obviously do care about this game. But, oh, it felt good to get that win under the belt. That means we go to a decider. That's right, game 3 isn't a dead rubber match. It means there is something to play for. And it's in the heart of Queensland. What better way to rub it in, my G, than getting a win up there in Suncorp Stadium? So we're going to break down that game from last night's Origin match, and we will preview round, is it 17 that we're up to now? Round 17?
Yep.
Yeah, man, so that's all, actually, that we have time for on this show tonight, because it's going to be a long one, Fano, so we do apologize in advance. So, you know what, just stop prefacing everything. Let's get into it. You know how we do. We start the show off right every time, every day. We got to keep it lit with a little bit of a paper, scissors, rock. So if you don't know, we always play paper, scissors, rock, and win it, lose, doesn't matter. So it works just like any other paper, scissors, rock game. Paper beats rock, rock beats scissors, scissors beats paper. Are you ready, Butter? All right. Here we go. A 3, 2, 1, shoot.
Oh,
high five.
Shazam.
Paper on paper. Here we go. All right. 3, 2, 1, shoot.
Oh,
he got me. We both changed. Interesting tactic. We both changed. That would have been crack up if we both went from paper, both went to rock or scissors. That would have been hilarious, and we just kept doing that. Anyway, congrats on the win. Man, look, what a game that was. A historic first half. They were saying on TV, that's the largest lead going into a halftime in an Origin match. I think they said that, ever? Or was it just the biggest lead? Yeah, so 34-0 at halftime. If you weren't watching, baby, they put Queensland on notice. They were up in their shit. It was some of the most intense 30 minutes. Because, I think for the first 30 minutes, I didn't even notice that clock was gone that quick. And then that last 10, I was like, oh, shit, here we go. All right, almost halftime. What's cooking? I don't know. Where do we start with this breakdown, bro? What are some standout plays from this first half? We'll go with the first half that really just stood out.
I mean, there's just too many to count for New South, and I don't think I can count a single one for Queensland. They really just jumped in from the start, and I think we said in the group chat, I think Moses' first kick, we were all like, yeah, here we go, they might be on now. And that, to me, was kind of the difference at the start. Moses kicking and then Luai's short game kicking. But I thought Payne Haas, man. I thought his first stint was up there with... I'd say that's easily his best stint in Origin. just how dominant he was, man. And they needed multiple defenders to slow him down. It was really, really dominant. And I know that's a game that he's capable of. To finally see it in the Origin arena was really, really good. What else happened? I also liked what we saw from New South Wales with Cameron Murray starting. I didn't actually
Oh
know if he was
yes.
starting or not. I think that wasn't the lineups, right? I just forgot
Yeah.
about it until like a couple of minutes, and I was like, "Oh, that's right, he's starting." And man, I really, really liked it. I thought those two really set the tone for the forwards, and then the kicking game of both Moses and Luai really controlled the game from that first half, and then that first try. Moses, going into the line, looked like he was going to play out the back, the short ball to Martin. It just set the tone. And from there, we talk about it, momentum in league. Once you have it, it's so hard for the other team to wrestle it back. And it just showed it, man, because that first half was just all momentum. And I wouldn't even say it was more mistakes from from Queensland. They just didn't have a chance. They didn't get a look in. New South Wales pinned them the whole time, and their defense kicked them out. That they didn't even have, they couldn't even get an attacking set in. Doesn't help when you kick the ball out on the full off a kickoff. That also doesn't help. You know what I mean? But I
Mm-hmm.
think there was a stat that said, I think it went into the second half. Play the balls inside the 20, and it was like 33-1.
Whoa.
It was just utter dominance. The balls were rolling, and they showed. I thought Moses had a great first half. He was able to control the game. Luai was just. It seemed like no one overplayed their hand.
Yeah.
Like they all
Yeah.
just played
I
to their
agree.
role, and they all played their role perfectly. Dylan Edwards, as we would expect, he didn't look out of place. He didn't do anything fancy, He again didn't overplay his role. He just did his job. And he definitely looked like he belonged. But yeah, man, that was just pure domination. It was a joy to watch, obviously. The boys were just putting tries on tries. And what was good to see is that it was both sides. They weren't just one side dominant. Lomax got what? He got a
Yeah.
double. I mean, the Moses to Lomax combo. Para fans will be absolutely happy with how that goes. You can see a lot of that next year. So that side was dominant, and then you go to the other side, Luai, Angus, Crichton. I mean, if the Roosters haven't signed him up yet, I think his price might have just went up again. It's just ridiculous what he's doing. Latrell, he didn't overplay his hand. He didn't have to do anything special. But when he had his moments, he took them. I mean, one-on-one, him and Val Holmes, I'm always going to take Latrell. Sure enough, draws in the winger, and all he has to do is flick it out the back for To'o to score his try. So that first half was just utter dominance. I think everything that could have went right for New South did. Poor Queensland just couldn't even. They didn't even have a chance. No momentum at all. Nothing going their way. They were pinned the whole time. They were all just hard carries every set. And Cherry Evans, his kicking game was good as always, but when you can't get that 40-20 or you can't change the tide, it's hard. So I thought it was just utter performance. No single moment stands out. That whole first half was just dominant in every sense of the word, and they deserved their lead. Yeah, man, that's what I saw. What about you? What were the highlights for you in that first half?
Yeah, I mean, the whole first half itself was a highlight, right? We saw end-to-end action. Anytime it looked like Queensland were getting an upper hand, they were down in New South 40, just the ball come our way. Critter put his whole body on the line there and just snatched it away from them. Almost had himself a runaway try, but played it smart. Came in a little bit, fell to the ground, made that tackle instead of getting carried out of bounds. Queensland ball, because smart players know to do that, or other players kind of just run themselves out, try flick the ball back in. And we've seen in years gone by New South Wales players do that. Queensland get that ball back, and then they running in a try. So it's an evolved level of maturity amongst this team. You've got players in this New South Wales side that have been to grand finals. They know how to grind out wins. They know what it takes to win, especially Stephen Crichton. he was a huge piece in that latest Panthers grand final win last year against the Broncos. Yes, Cleary finished a lot of it, but a lot of that momentum wouldn't have shifted the Panthers' way without Crichton. And you see that leadership again in this. Yes, he chanced his arm a little bit and played with a lot of intensity, but that's what you need. And if the little guys, quote unquote little guys, that's what Willie always refers to them as, but if the little guys are getting in there making those kind of plays, then the forwards are always going to get on the back of that. That's what Willie Mason always prides his New South Wales era on, was whenever the little guys got up, the big boys had to play. They were never going to ever get outshone by the backs in big footy plays. And Mitchell Moses made a few big time tackles on Dearden, forcing the ball loose twice, I think, on him. That gives the forwards energy because they go, fuck, if the halves are going to put their bodies on the line, if they're going to get us turnovers, then we got to get meters. And meters they got. Man, Payne Haas played, like you said, the best footy he's ever played at Origin level. Now, there were mind games played coming into this. People saying Payne isn't an Origin level player. He just doesn't get it at Origin level. He plays wickedly at club, never shows up at Origin level. The Queensland boys kicked him out of the Broncos group chat over the last couple of weeks and put him in a separate group chat. Put him in a separate group chat with Reno and Stags. And then says, you just don't get it, and then left the group chat. And Payne's been trying to get back in that group chat. So, I think he got the last laugh in this round. Like we said, there's game 3 coming up shortly, so we get to see who gets the final laugh at the end. But it was a huge moment for Payne Haas, and well deserved. Hopefully, he can help carry this momentum into club level because we need it. We definitely need this. One thing that was quite concerning for me in the Queensland camp, and I don't know if it's a full credit to New South Wales for being able to shut him down, but Reece Walsh really struggled to get momentum going. I'm not too sure what their game plan was with Reece, but for me as a Broncos fan, it's just a little bit alarming because I'm like, what kind of form is he in? We haven't seen him for about 3 weeks now since that head knock. And I'm not saying the head knock is playing on his performance. What I'm wondering is, if he comes back this weekend, is he going to be ready to go up against the Warriors, or are we going to wait another week and then integrate him back into the team? Because we didn't see too much action from him. He did try, and it's not for a lack of trying. New South Wales were able to shut him down, but he's the electrifying one. As a Queensland fan, you expect more from the electrifying one. In all honesty, I think Hammer could go to fullback in the next game and bring in Cobbo on the centre if Reece doesn't really perform in the next couple of weeks at club level. Shifting back to New South Wales, Latrell, man, hats off to you, brother. You played really well in the centres. Definitely would have silenced a lot of the haters. And I was a little worried in the first 10 minutes, 15 minutes or so, because we didn't really see much from Latrell. We didn't see him bringing it up in the New South Wales half, carrying up in those early carries. It was mainly Lomax, Edwards, To'o. So, a little bit worried there. But then once he started injecting himself on offense, then I was like, well, maybe it's his fitness. Turns out he was just trying to get into a rhythm of the game. And, once he found that rhythm, bro, who was Valentine Holmes, man? He had him locked down. And there was a lot of talk about them getting Latrell to do a lot on defense so that he didn't have any energy in attack. Well, man, bro was out there on attack. He was out there on defense. He was doing work. Now, if I'm sitting there in Rabbitohs land, I'm thinking, why don't we try to bring Angus back in? Because, man, those two look comfortable on the edge together. You got Jai Gray over at Rabbitohs. You play him at fullback. You put Latrell center. You put Angus inside him. Hey, that's a combo. Then what? Johnston outside them? Bro, that's a deadly edge. So, just something to think about there, Wayno. Give us a ring. We'll make it work, brother. We'll make it work. I was really, really impressed by the two second rowers and Spencer Leniu. You know, once Payne comes off, you sort of expect that intensity to drop a little bit, but you know, Payne's coming off, Leniu's coming on, and the two second rowers, they just stand up because early in the first, it was all Payne, the backs, and then a little bit of the second rowers. When Payne came off, the second rowers took that game to another level. Sorry, it was Cam and Payne that were the two dominant forwards in that first stint there. And then once those two come off, Yowie came on and Spencer came on. Spencer still had big impact, but also those second rowers, they just find a way to sort of let each other work. Like you said, they all do their role very well, if not perfectly. They don't overplay their hand. They don't try and do too much. They defend really well, and they run really hard. So there's nothing I can fault really in that New South Wales forward performance. Like, in terms of how first half performances go, that's an A+ performance for me. Like, there's nothing you can say that New South Wales didn't do or didn't try to do. What I was concerned about, and we'll switch now into the second half, was their second half performance. This is when Queensland were able to score their 18 points and New South Wales only responded with one try of their own. The only reason I say I'm a little bit concerned there was because did their efforts or their mindset switch from full-blown attack now into defend the lead and try hold them to zero instead of just try and maintain that pressure and run that ball down their motherfucking throats like they did in that first half. Because it looked a little bit, well, not saying that it was conservative, but it just looked like they were ready to take the foot off the gas in terms of attack and just play their sets, get under the skin a little bit and see if they can, you know, figure something out in between there. Because if they had just kept rolling that same attack, maybe we could have seen a larger score and a bigger route. But, you know, full credit to Queensland. They're never going to lay down and let you just get a donut on them. That ain't never happening. That's Queensland we're talking about. You know, they are the state of origin champs for a reason. And, you know, you see the likes of Hammer step up. I thought Cotter really did well in that second half. Dearden tried a lot more. He tried to move the ball a bit more. Same with Cherry. They tried to, you know, manage. And I guess when you've actually got possession of the footy in the second half, it makes it a lot easier to sort of get plays going. And that was the difference between the first half and the second half, was their ability to have possession of that ball. Yes, there were a few missed calls throughout this game from the referee that hit from Luai on Cherry Evans. That's obviously, you know, that's probably 10 in the bin any day of the week. Latrell, even though Coates was falling, ducked into him, that's normally 10 in the bin. It was essentially the same hit that Suwali'i went off for, just he didn't land it as severely as Joseph did. So he was lucky there. I'm interested to see whether or not some of these players make game 3 because of some of these reports that they're going on for. We'll see. It's definitely one that Billy's going to have to go back to the drawing board and figure out. Great confidence builder for New South. We did say in the first game we lacked a kicking game. If we had a strong kicking game, we may have been there or thereabouts in terms of finishing the game on a high, because our defense was there and our intensity was there in that first game. You give us 13v13, that same intensity, that same defense, this is the result. Coulda, woulda, shoulda. The what ifs come creeping in, you know, what if, well, what ifs didn't happen, and this is the reality. It's now going to a decider in Queensland. People might not like what I've got to say about this, but I'm dropping you away. If I'm the coach, Mitchie, you're getting the call up, brother. You're on the interchange. I'm dropping Isaiah, what did he offer? Didn't offer fast play the ball. He ran some of our forwards off their lines. Yeah, he links up well with the backs. But fuck, he's coming in at prop for some of the game, bro. Kind of props trying to run out towards the backs and give them ball. I don't like your ball playing lock bullshit. Keep Cam Murray in there. He's got fast play the balls. He didn't get enough game time. We saw him in the last 5 minutes in the second half. He was one of the standouts in the first. This is 2 origins in a row. Isaiah Yeo hasn't made the team of the game list or origin team of the game. We still didn't come up with a name of it. So it is what it is. But yeah, I'm bringing in Mitchie Barnett or I'm bringing back someone else. But yeah, Isaiah Yeo, sorry, my bro. But yeah, the Panthers will love to have you back at Clubland for the origin period instead of here at rep level. I think also, is that who they had? Kafusi, Capel on the
Yeah.
bench. So it was just Mo. So Cotter played the full 80 at prop.
I'd say so, yeah. Oh, he went off for HIA for a bit, but he passed it.
But
Yeah.
so then who was moving to prop? Was it Carrigan would have been moved to prop to cover if Cotter needed a break, possibly.
Yeah, it was like the 5 minutes before half he went off for his HIA,
Right,
so
right.
it wasn't for long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking, because when we were rattling off how to do our team list, we were going head to head, like at that position, who was the best, and yeah, I thought Mo was probably one of their best props, and lo and behold, yeah, he's half the reason why he's one of their best props. He's the only prop outside of Cotter and Lindsay, so yeah, look, lots for the Maroons to go back and draw up, and I know that they're going to come out firing. It's a home game for them. And they never disappoint their fans. I'm not getting my hopes up too high as a New South Wales fan. It isn't easy to win in Queensland, but if they put up a performance like they did tonight, I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but it'll definitely help. What were your thoughts on the second half, bro?
The second half, the first part of it for me was real stop-starting. Lots of penalties. And I think our discipline kind of led our New South Wales team. We got those few, like inside the 10 penalties, and then there was a bit of niggle. I mean, I don't agree with the send-off for Liam Martin or Carrigan, but I get because he said it the play before. You know what happened with DCE and Critter, and that boiling over. So I get he set the standard, and the fact that it happened the very next play, he kind of had no choice. But to say he escalated it because he rubbed his head, come on, man. And they weren't even going into rub it in their face. Well, I guess a little bit, but they were more going to cheer with their teammates. I did think Carrigan was the one that escalated it because he kind of came in and grabbed someone. But yeah, I guess they had to. He was always going to send one from each team after he gave them pretty much their final warning. So someone had to go, and it had to be Liam Martin, unfortunately, for rubbing someone's head. That's the funniest thing I've ever seen. But, I said it at halftime in the chat, right? I was like, surely momentum shifts. They just haven't had any ball. They looked more dangerous with the ball. They were getting repeat sets, penalties. I think they won the penalty count in the second half and probably the 6 again count. And look what they were able to do. A lot of those tries come down the short side. So that's something that I think that they will look to exploit in Game 3, the short side raid. And it was quick when Walsh is so good at it because he can beat that marker even when he's the dummy half. He's so quick out of that space that it just catches everyone off guard. And they looked a lot better that side when they attacked the short side. And in terms of New South Wales, yeah, I think they did let off the gas a little bit. You pretty much know that the game's won by then. And as much as you want to go on with it, when you're getting hit with penalty after penalty, someone gets sent to the bin or for 10 minutes, you kind of figure, okay, we'll just coast through this game, get through our sets, and then we'll see you in Game 3. So that is what I felt kind of happened. And I think if you're Queensland, you can say, "Oh, look, we won the second half, 18-4," but I mean, the game was pretty much already out of reach by then. What did I think of Queensland in that second half? They looked better. I mean, you're always going to
Mm,
look better when you have the ball in
yeah,
attacking places, right? And you can get repeat sets. You're always going to look better. And they had a bit more of the ascendancy. And then, yeah, New South, it kind of looks like they just coasted through that last little bit. I mean, understandable, I guess. They also had a few changes, Olakwatu came on. You had Connor, he came on for a bit. For the second game in a row, Jake played like the first 25 minutes and came on with like 10 minutes left. So that to me, because he's done it 2 games in a row, is tactical. That's planned. So when you're the captain, your captain's spending more time on the pine than on the actual field, which is funny. I actually like Yo. He makes my team for game 3. He wasn't as like Murray, different sort of player. He quick play the ball, but I kind of like it. Like Isaiah Yo coming off the bench. It's not that he doesn't. He didn't have a great game today, but I also think he didn't have a bad game. He didn't make any mistakes. He kind of just played his role. He's not. He doesn't have to be as outstanding in Origin as he does for Penrith because there's so many great players around him. He doesn't have to do as much. I thought he ran hard. Yeah, he ran a couple of boys off their lines a little bit. But his ball playing is still like top notch as ever. So I kind of like the fact that they had Murray start and then him come off the bench in the same way that they have Payne start and then have Lenu come off the bench. You can kind of keep your intensity level high. There's no rest. There's no rest when Murray and Haas come off the bench because now you got to deal with Dio and you got to deal with Lenu, which is just a whole nother ball game. And it can switch the game as well. I mean, Lenu, that run at the end of their first half was just crazy. They're like, 50-meter run? He's so good at it. And then, yeah, I thought Isaiah Yo, he didn't do anything outstandingly good, but he also, in my view, didn't do anything wrong. Kind of just played a role, was solid in what he did, and he's also super experienced now. You kind of need someone in that role. And honestly, he's the vice captain of the team. He ended up being captain. Feel as though he's been captain more minutes of the series than Jake has.
that's true.
I did think though, yeah, they brought on Murray too late in the second half because I can't remember if we started the second half or not, but yeah, in that period where Queensland were dominant, he wasn't on.
Nah.
And I thought, yeah, with Liam Martin, he kind of just went rogue. I thought they could have pulled him a little bit earlier, you know? Yeah,
Yeah,
because he got
yeah,
that yellow card, comes back on, and I think he was close to getting another yellow card. Got put on
yeah.
report twice. So yeah.
Is he even going to make game 3?
Well, surely he's not gonna get sanctioned for that send off, right? Not the 10 minutes rub someone head. I highly doubt that. But then the other one was the late hit on Cherry Evans, which I think got put on report.
Yeah.
I think that's the one that Madge was finally like, all right, get him off. And then was he the one that did the lifting tackle? Or was that Latrell?
Yep. Nah, it was him.
Oh, it was him, yeah.
He did the lift on, was it? I can't remember who it was on, but one of them. Yeah, he lifted him.
Yeah. And that's one that we thought was going to be 10 in the bin. I mean,
Yeah.
that one looked a little bit worse than Roger's one, and Roger got straight 10 in the bin. So,
And on report.
yeah.
And fine.
So that one, I think he could be, but at worst, I think it'll be a fine or maybe a 1 game. So he should still be all good. Can't see it, eh? But yeah, man. And then looking on the other side, I don't know what you do with that Queensland team, eh? Like, I can't see any changes you would make other than bringing Cobbo back into the 17. But that's kind of like their team, and it has been for the last few years. You have to, in some ways, reward them. I just think they got jumped from the start and just it was game over by half, man. But
Yeah, they got mugged.
Yeah, they got absolutely. And I think that's what game 3 might come down to. Whoever has the better start, if one team can jump the other, it looks like whoever jumps out to an early lead, it's just hard to crawl back from, hard to come back. And in terms of New South Wales, I don't see many changes happening. Because who do you drop? Like, if Suwali'i's back,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think Mitchell deserves to get dropped after that game.
Nah, and I really want to see Suwali'i play because I just want to see if he's got that dog in him. But man, like, look, you can't just bring Mitchell in and tell him, "Oh, cool, we just want you for one game because Suwali'i's back." Like, yes, I know Suwali'i was still in camp. He was still in camp with the boys, so there is potential for it. But look, man, we got to win, and like, what's his name? Holmes, man, was shut down.
Mm-hmm.
And like, we know he's good to score tries or at least get his outside man open. I don't think Coates or Holmes got anywhere near the line. Like, yeah, Coates got close, but he got held up.
Yeah,
Holmes got smashed. He got shut down almost every time he looked at the ball.
The boys were ready this time, and that's maybe a credit to Madge as well. You know, different game plan.
It was a good game plan.
Yeah, very, very
great
good.
game plan. Because they cut off the edges. Because you see them pressing real quick, coming off the line to cut out those deep passes, which normally kill them. Because you give Queensland space on those edges, bang, speed kills every time. I don't see that game plan working twice, though. Don't see it working twice, man. You come up too fast, they're going to find a way to exploit it. And they did in the second half.
Yeah,
they found ways to exploit it. And, you know, you give Billy Slater too much time to look at footage. GG's in the chat.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be interesting, right? That's the battle, right? That's the cat and mouse game. That is league with the coaching. You know, you make adjustments from game 1, it works out. Now we'll see what Billy's got. Can he make adjustments for game 3? We don't know.
Exactly.
But other than that, man, I don't really got anything else. Zach Lomax, man, his kicking was on. He missed, 2 of them? What's crazy about his kicks, bro, is that they were from, pretty much all of them were from the sideline, both sides.
Yep.
And I was super impressed.
Impressed. Those ain't easy kicks.
They're not gimmies.
Those ain't easy kicks, man.
Not gimmies.
What I was going to ask is, because Keon Kolomatangi, he's New South.
Yep.
See, why not bring him on instead of you? Because he can kind of bring that Cam Murray intensity at that 13, and he can play at the 12.
Yeah, I mean, why not? I mean, he's been in good form. I just think just bit of bias, I guess, but I think Yo's just good enough to hold on to a spot.
Fair. Well, because this is what I noticed in the second half. So in the first half, Yo was fucking ball play happy. He was trying to get all the props. Yeah, run off me. They don't want that shit. They want it off the freaking hooker or the halfback. In the second half, he kind of just put his head down and ran straight. So Madge must have told him, "Boy, put that shit in your back pocket, man, and fucking run the ball. I don't want to see no hocus pocus. You ain't Magic Johnson. Just tuck and run, baby. Tuck and run."
Yo, that's one thing he's gotten better at. If his team's in trouble more and the other team's got momentum, he's more likely to just run. But you'll notice as they get closer to the line, he'll start ball playing more. So that's saying that obviously he's been told, like, when you're in the attacking set, he's probably going to pass the ball by coming out of yardage or between that 40 to like 20. He's probably just going to run it.
I don't think I like that kind of play. It's just not me. As a Broncos fan, I mean, you know, Paddy just fucking picks that thing up and run through a motherfucking face. So that's just the style of football I like. I'm not really a big fan of this run, and get my forwards to run off me and shit like that. It's not my favorite. That's why I think I don't really buy into the Warriors at the moment, because Tohu does a lot of that too. It's that run off me. Nah, brother, just gives the fucking ball and I'm in there. But yeah, look, and like you said, I don't think Queensland are going to change much in this team at all. I wouldn't be surprised if they run this 17 and go run it back and stay, 10 toes down, because that's how they always have been. Win a game, lose a game, I'm staying 10 toes down. I believe in this team. They believe in each other. We're at home. What's the bet? Here's something I think they could pull out, which will fire these boys up more than anything else, is why not bring in a whole bunch of old boys at the decider? Get them in that locker room before the game starts. Get them to rock the boys up, and then send them out there with a guard of honor and just have all the fucking old boys just clapping them in. I reckon that'll get this team fired up, ready for a decider, and then New South won't know what hit them. But New South, they got to come out firing. They got to come out with that same intensity. They've had it for 2 games in a row now. Give them credit; they have had this intensity for 2 games in a row now. They just didn't have the kicking game. They didn't have the extra man to play that full 80 minutes against a very, very good Queensland side. What was I going to say? I hope there are no injuries between then and now. I hope that all these players can stay healthy and they make it back. One thing I was going to ask you is, how do you think Kalen Ponga would have managed at fullback in this position instead of Reece? Say, in an alternative universe, they're both healthy. Kalen's having his Dally M season. I don't know how, but apparently he has Dally M seasons. How do you think his style of gameplay would fit in this particular match?
To be honest, I don't think it would have made too much of a difference. Him and Reese's game are kind of similar, to be honest. Like the way they move and the way they can ball play and they can change the game on a dime. Because I would have suspect he would have went down the short side too a lot, kind of like what Welsh did. But yeah, to be honest, you could have had Billy Slater at fullback tonight. It just didn't matter. Like they were just so dominant that Reece didn't get into the game till the second half because they were just pinned the whole time coming out there, and they just didn't have any attacking sets, which is where he shines. And yeah, he can kind of make something out of nothing. But when the team's that locked in, it just wasn't their night, man. It just really wasn't their night. I don't think Ponga would have did any different. I don't think he would have did any worse, any better. I reckon it just would have been the same, which is no fault of theirs. You just can't do anything when you don't have ball or you don't have a chance to attack. That's where those boys shine. Or even on a mismatch. I mean, their defensive line was just on. They just didn't have a chance.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Well, let's check out the team of the game. Game 2's team. How do we even pronounce it? Like, what is the name for this thing, G? Because we struggled last time, remember? Because it's not team of the week. It's not team of the game. It's team of the origin. What is it? Origin of the team.
Origin of the team. I don't know. This is meant to be a trial match for Aussie, right?
Is that the whole purpose of this?
Kind of. That's why they kind of don't like the ones of like Luai and Critter and Linu playing, because they don't represent Aussie. So it should be in ways like if you're playing New South Wales and Maroon, you should go to Aussie first, and then if you don't get picked, then you can go. Is the whole theory. So I don't know, call it the Aussie trial team or whatever.
Aussie trial team. Is Payne Haas Samoan?
I don't know.
I'm gonna one moment. I'm just gonna search it.
I don't know.
Payne Haas.
I mean, I guess if he wanted to play for them, he could.
Yeah, no, I was just saying if he's Samoan or what is his nationality? He is he's Samoan, Swiss, and Filipino.
Alrighty,
bro, what a combo! Gee, because could you imagine him playing for Samoa?
Yeah, I could, and that would be
bro, same.
That wouldn't be fun.
Bro, we'd be a tier B nation.
Chuck him on Samoa would still beat them. Trust our boys.
Maybe.
But no, he's
maybe.
Yeah.
But anyway, I thought this what do we got? I don't know. Team of the game. Just team of the game. Talk to good. Team of the game. I'll do the backs. You do the forwards.
Yeah.
All right. So Fano, you might disagree with us. You might agree with us. Well, look, doesn't matter. It's our team. It's the practice run team of the game. That sounds fresh as. Anyway, so the way we did this is we kind of just went head to head. Who played better? So at fullback, Reece Walsh or Dylan Edwards? Dylan Edwards had an amazing debut. It's yeah, like you said, just a solid performance. Didn't do too much. He didn't do not enough. He just played a great game and, raised the question, why wasn't he called up to play Origin earlier on in his career? Maybe the past 2 years he could have been starting fullback. We'll never know, Mr. Fittler. And congrats to Bro scoring on debut. Out on the wings, well, 2 tries apiece. Can't go either way, man. Got Brian Tor and Zach Lomax in the centres. Latrell welcome back Mitchell with a big-time performance there in the centres, locking down Valentine Holmes. And on the other side, outplaying, he the Hammer felt like outmanned. He was outgunned. He was outperformed by Stephen Crichton. Just a wicked game from him. And, in my opinion, I could definitely see him becoming captain of this New South Wales team sooner rather than later. I feel like he's just got the performances that stand up for themselves. And his leadership, man, he really does lead from the front. And like I said earlier, man, with those big-time plays, it sparks the forwards. And, who wants an energetic leader on their team? New South Wales do, apparently. In the halves, man, it's going to sound super one-sided, but when Jerome is on, he is on, man. And those grubbers, like, it looks like he's looking to pass, boom, just a little movement of the foot, and he stabs that little grubber through, man. And that's what opened up the scoring account for a couple of the boys. So Jerome Luai takes that 6, and at 7, we were screaming for a kicking game in game 1. We just karoha Nico Hines, but I think your fate's been sealed in the blue jumper, my bro. It was great to see you live that dream. It's a huge honour to play for your state. You're a professional footy player. You've played some amazing footy in your career. You're a Dalian medal winner. No one can take that from you. But Mitchell Moses took your jersey, brother. It's his until Cleary comes back. And I mean, hell, even when Cleary comes back, is it Cleary Moses 7-6? Moses is definitely putting forth a case to say that, he's a through and through Origin player. His defense, his attack, he was everywhere tonight, man. I don't think he put a foot wrong. And so for that reason, he gets the nod over Cherry Evans. Over to you for the forwards.
Yes, for the forward packs, you might notice a theme if you're listening to this. But at number 9, we've gone with Reece Robertson. Again, dominant performance. Man knows how to make his tackles. And maybe I need to watch more Cowboys game. I said this last time, Origin, because I don't really know much about Reece Robertson. But from what I'm watching, I'm liking what I'm seeing. We will quickly go to the second rowers now. And, I mean, Liam Martin had a few, kind of lost his way in that second half, but he opened the account with the first try of the game, and he's just so passionate, man. He's so good. Mini Brock, as I like to call him. He gets the nod on one edge, and on the other edge, you just have Angus Crichton, who is in a purple vein of form at the moment. He's leaped back to being an elite second rower. I never think they even took him down once in this game because they were like, 3 or 4 on him, and he's still standing. So that's your second rowers. At lock, I mean, plays one game, gets named in the team, and his first half was just incredible. Start to the game was so good. We had to go with Cameron Murray. And then one prop position, obviously you had Payne Haas. The man, his first stint, 137 meters for like 13 carries. Crazy.
Ooh.
Like, it was just that really solidified the platform, and here's one prop. And the second one was probably the toughest one out of all the spots, but we decided to go with someone who had impact on the game, game. And when Payne Haas went off, this guy came on, and boy, did he set the tone. He went for that massive 50-meter run where he made Harry Grant and Cotter smoking headbutt each other. But we went with Spencer Leniu, and deservedly so. He is such an impact player off the bench. I knew we should have signed him like 2 years ago. I remember calling for him when he was only getting like 20 minutes at Penrith. I was like, bro, we need this guy on the Bulldogs. He just has Bulldogs written all over him. But, the Roosters were lucky to get him. He's got the potential to be an elite prop, and he's proved it on a bigger stage. 2 games now. 2 games in a row where he has made a great impact on New South Wales, albeit coming off the bench. I mean, that was his title at Penrith, the best bench prop in the game. Just showing it today, man. So, yeah, that is your, team of the game. Pretty much the New South Wales team. Look, it is what it is. Actually, look, so you said, just going back a little bit, right? You said that you would drop Isaiah Yeo, right? Because he didn't do much. What? I would propose, if you were going to drop someone, that it would be Jake. Because he's only playing 30 games. So if I had to pick between Jake or Yeo, I would keep Yeo and drop Jake.
Well, the only reason I don't is because the bro's captain.
Yeah.
So you kind of can't.
Right. Well, I mean, Yo's been captain longer than he has.
Yeah, but fuck you.
Yeah, Barnett still makes the team then. Just chuck.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, earlier on in the year, I've been saying that, Jake never made my teams. When we did our mock-up teams, Jake was never on my team. And Yo, I don't think he was on my team either. Pretty sure I had Murray and maybe Yo on the bench. Yeah, see, so, I mean, this is just my personal preference. I don't give a fuck.
Because Jake did look a bit slow out there. Like, even with his carries and his tackling's always been good. No one questions that. But his carries didn't look quite as impactful. But I guess, when you're going next to Haas and Murray, it's not going to look the same. It's just not. So,
Haas was about that bullshit tonight, man. Like last night, sorry. He was about that bullshit, man. He was like, yo.
On.
Yeah. Bruh. So, yeah. Well, look, hey, one thing I'd like to ask is, who takes your man of the match? So I thought we didn't do it in game 1, sorry, but we'll do it in this game. So we're going to have a 2 man of the match, and we're going to have a Rawiri man of the match. So you pick yours first, I'll pick mine. Hey, if they're the same, they're the same. But if they're not, they're not. That is what it is.
Damn. I mean, the 2 players that come to mind are Payne, Haas, and Moses.
Oh, yes.
Those are like kind of the 2 screaming at me. I'm going to go with Moses on this one.
Okay.
And Payne Haas a close second. Yeah, I just thought Moses. I think he tied a record or something with 4 try assists, which is the most since, I think I read somewhere, it's the most since Brad Fittler. Brad Fittler played years ago. So, and I think his kicking game was on point. Some of those tries he set up were just on point. A really great game. And I tell you what, man, I kind of like the Moses Luai pairing, eh? I don't know how it looked, but fuck, it looked good. I was like, ooh, I love this. I mean, part of me was thinking, does Cleary come back? I mean, obviously he does. It's an Nathan Cleary, but if he's not there,
expense, eh?
Yeah, it's like
at whose expense?
If Cleary isn't there for game 3 because he's still injured, I'd be okay.
Yeah. I've got confidence in this team.
I'd be okay. Yeah. Which is saying. So yeah, for that reason, I got to go with Mitchell Moses with Payne Haas a close second. Yep.
Yeah. See, I'm 3-way split. So obviously, Mitchell Moses is pretty much the catalyst that turned this team around from game 1 into game 2. We lacked a kicking game. We lacked direction on that side. Luai was doing his best on that edge in game 1. His side he had humming. to an extent, but when there's no attack on the other end and you're down a man, it's very hard to get anything going. So Mitch Moses comes in and everything's humming. Like, he's communicating with the boys. That's one thing we didn't see Nico do very much of in game one, is usher the boys, get them set up, because that's how Dylan Edwards got that try. Moses was setting the boys up, pushing the backs, moving the forwards. So definitely Payne Haas, he was phenomenal. This is, like we said, the best game we've ever seen from Payne Haas at Origin level. Obviously, used to seeing this performance from him at Clubland, but at Origin, we hardly see it. He just takes his hit-ups, plays the ball, or stays standing and plays the ball. But I think for me, for the 80 minutes, it's got to be Angry Angus, man. Like, he was just consistent that whole game. Didn't put a foot wrong. He didn't let his emotions get the best of him. He just put on strong hit after strong hit, shut down Holmes, he shut down Cherry Evans, he shut down Coates. So that edge was locked up. And I mean, to be honest, that whole edge, Angus, Latrell, and To'o, they had those edges, that edge locked down, man. So yeah, I've got to give it to Angus. He was a man among boys out there, especially when Cotter tried to come on, and you just see him palm him off and look at him like, the fuck are you doing? Get off, like, you're nothing, come run at me. Like, he just palmed him off like a little kid asking for an autograph. Like, he's Big Angus. So yeah, look, he's going to be hot commodity this off season. So whoever scoops him up, you got a real one, man. You got a real one. Roosters, if you want to do a straight trade, he's going to have, I don't know, he's going to have Pia Kura. We'll take Angus. All right, but yeah, look, amazing game last night. I'm still buzzing off of it. I hope you guys managed to watch it from wherever you are in the world. But don't forget, tonight, is it 9:30 p.m. they kick off? Is it? It might be.
The girls.
So it's the decider for the women tonight. New South Wales won the first game. Queensland won the second in Bluecastle. They called it for that game. And the final, I think, where's this one being played?
Queensland Country Bank Stadium, Townsville.
Oh, so up there at Cowboy Land.
Yep, 9:45 kickoff.
9:45. See? And come on, NRL. Make that for the men's game too, bro. We need that. We need that, like, 7:30 kickoff. We need that 7:30 kickoff,
Give us that
man.
early kickoff, man. We'll be on.
Yeah. Give us that twilight football. How good is twilight footy, Fano? Oh, shucks. That's enough of Origin, Etefano. Moving along to this weekend's games. It is round 17, so let's look forward to all the games that we've got. And we'll start off with the Friday night banger. Over to Tu, because this is your game, brother.
Yes, so first game of round 17, Friday, 10 p.m., 28th of June at Accor Stadium. It is, of course, my Bulldogs up against one of our arch rivals, the Sharks. So this should be a good game for us, coming off that loss against the Roosters. This will be a big one to see how we bounce back. So I'll be interested to see how it goes. This is, the Sharks looking to solidify themselves in their top 4, and we're also looking to hold our spot in their top 8. To be honest, the teams are quite solid. This was our very first game of the season, and second game of the season. The Sharks did win that one quite comfortably, 25-6, I believe. And it was just a story of they just had more ball and were able to control it. But we're bouncing back. We're such a different team from them. And I'll be interested to see how we go. The biggest storyline is obviously Matt Burton. Didn't even get named at all in New South Wales. So it'll be interesting to see how he bounces back from that. Obviously, last game he played, he got shifted to centres. That didn't work. So hopefully he doesn't get shifted this time and he just stays at number 6. Critter's been named in the reserves, but because it's such a short turnaround, I just don't know if he's going to back it up again. So I suspect that he will get a rest this week, and it's okay because Jarrell Skelton, who played lights out last week, will hold his spot. Bronson Cherry's coming back, so we should be good there. Blake Taff is the one replacing Connor Tracy, who is on his 11-day stand down from his HIA, I believe. But yeah, actually, I haven't seen the Sharks play in a while. Like, they had the bye, right? Along with half the league. So it's
I
hard
was
to
just about
know.
to say that. I
Yeah,
was just about to say that. I was like, I feel like I haven't seen the Sharks in a minute.
literally haven't seen them for a minute. But with Hines there, Trindle there, they are a solid team. And this is going to answer a lot of questions for me. This will again prove if we are a top 8 team or maybe a fringe top 8. And for the Sharks, this is one that many would expect them to win. And like I've been saying a lot on this podcast, when you are expected to win games, you have to win them. But obviously, I hope that they don't. Quick look of the teams. You got Talakai starting in the second row again. I believe that's because Tay Wilton is still injured. Looking at our bench, we have Preston. He's also on the reserves, and Hutchinson. I don't know if they'll be late call-ups. I think Preston might be. I'm not too sure why he didn't get named. That might be a precautionary reason that he didn't get named as the starting second row. But if he does and he's fit to go, I could see him coming in late for potentially either Jake Turpin or Lipoi Hopoi. Drew Hutchinson. Oh man, I think his time might be up, unfortunately. I still think he can do a job, I'm not too sure. I've kind of gone off that bandwagon, to be fair. But look, overall, I think my Bulldogs can pull it off. It will be tough, but this is one we have to win. We dropped the one against Roosters, so this is one we have to pick up, knowing that we've got the Wars next week, which I think we can get that game. And for the Sharks, coming off a bye week, can they turn momentum, get going, and stay within touching distance of these top 2 teams? Because if they can't, they might just find themselves sliding down the ladder. Unfortunately, I have picked the Sharks to win this game in a close one. I don't know. I think we just got a few things to work through on our end, and a team coming off a bye is always dangerous. So I've gone with the Sharks. Final score, I've gone with 18-14 to the Sharks. Tight one. I think it'll be defensive, but I think they just pull it away in the end. That's all I've got for you. I'll hand it over to you. If you've got anything to say about this game, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, look, I think it's going to be a tough game. Like you were saying, it feels like we haven't seen the Sharks in forever. So it's going to be interesting to see how they go after that close loss before their bye against the Dolphins. I'm just pulling everything up here. So it was a close loss. It was, 28-30 versus Dolphins on that Thursday night banger.
Yes.
It was, a closely fought contest. I think in this game, the Sharks are going to need a strong kicking game from Nico Hines. I think that we need to see Braden Trindle run the ball a little bit more and chance his hand with that short kicking game to get some repeat sets out of some Bulldogs players there having to force it dead in goal. I think we're definitely going to see the big impact that Royce Hunt's going to have coming off the bench. He's been devastating in previous weeks. Just big bopper, it's hard to stop him. Is he related to Carmichael?
I'm not too sure. I think he has Samoan heritage, but I think he's a Kiwi boy as well.
He might be related to Carmichael,
Royce Hunt,
let's have a quick Google.
He's got the ratty, right?
Yeah, he's the big bopper.
You remember the bro Shaq?
Shaq from Roosters.
Yeah.
Yo.
I think they're like
Cuzzies.
Or boys, because I've seen him post a few times about him.
Oh. Well, tell Shaq. Give us an in. He's also Māori. He played for the Māori All Stars. Yo. So expect him to try and do some damage through the middle and take advantage of these quote unquote undersized Bulldogs who punch well above their weight. In terms of the Bulldogs, what I need to see from them is just I see a strong game from Reid Mahoney. I think he's the heartbeat of this team. Yes, Critter is the captain. He's the I think he's the yin to Reid's yang a little bit. I think it's those two that are sort of like the spiritual leaders of this team. You obviously got Burden in there as well, who's a great old here. He just keeps things centered as well as Kikau. But I think Critter and Reed, they got those two contrasting personalities. Reed's really like, I'll get under your skin and get some niggle in you, and Critter, he plays the level-headed, like, oh, yo, relax, brother. So yeah, I think those two complement each other well. In terms of him getting rest, I think it will depend on how he pulls up tomorrow, because I know after game one, Lomax, Hunt, they were back in there straight away, and they played the Friday night game, and Ben scored a try. Hunt scored the most points for the Dragons in recent history. So, I'm expecting big things if Critter plays. I don't know. It was just something they just had to prove when they came back from their Origin loss, or all the Origin boys. So I'm expecting big things if he does get the nod. For the Bulldogs, I think a lot of their game in terms of beating the Sharks team will come through Matt Burden's kicking game and Viliami Kikau's kick chase. I think that's something that the Bulldogs have missed in a few weeks, but it hasn't really mattered too much because they still managed to get big wins when it really matters, and it kind of comes down to who gets Simbin, because that fires the boys up every time. One thing you said, though, with the Sharks coming off the bye, haven't the Bulldogs won almost every game they played against a team coming off the bye?
Yes, we did have a string of like 3 games in a row where we played the team with the bye. I think we won 2 of them. We lost to the Raiders in Magic Round.
Right. Yeah, but that was ages ago.
Yeah, that was a while ago.
Recent history. But yes, I do agree with you as well. This will definitely determine where you guys sit in terms of the pecking order, and then we can kind of get a grasp of where we think the Sharks are currently placed. Because at the moment, I think they're in Te Pō. Not quite in Te Ao, and they're not quite, in Te Kore. They're in Te Pō, and for those who aren't from Aotearoa, it's like the in-between space, the darkness, before they reach the light, or they regress back into the nothingness, the void. So we're trying to figure out where they belong. But yeah, I'm going with, I'm going to go with the Bulldogs, just because Sharks coming off that bye, they've had a week off. I'm just going to roll with them. I think they can get it done, especially if Critter plays, because he's just that oomph that they need out there, that extra defense, and his leadership is second to none. And, it's been rewarded. He's been promoted to the leadership group of New South Wales. I think that got announced yesterday. Yeah, off the top of the head. So congrats to Critter. Well done, brother. Well deserved. And I could definitely see him captaining New South Wales at some point in his near future. Moving right along to Saturday night. I'm so stoked about this. This was a game that I really wanted to get up to, but financial situations happen, and we get to sit at home and watch it on a Saturday afternoon. But 5:00, I'm not having to wait until 9:05 until they kick off in Brisbane. I get a 5 p.m. man. Yeah, I don't know how stoked I am for this. I'm super hyped. It's going to be a great game. I think both teams are kind of evenly matched, right? You'd assume the Broncos can win on paper. They've got, the better team. Well, you'd be wrong. We've had a bye last week. Before that, we're coming off 3 losses. One loss versus the Titans, bye round, Sharks, and who else did we lose to? Who was our most recent loss? Was the Bunnies. The Bunnies.
Yes.
So, yeah, lots of work-ons for this team. Sorry, my mic keeps falling off. So lots of work-ons for this team. Where do they go? Who's coming in? I think all of those boys who are named to back up from Origin will be expected to play, just because the performance of this team, it isn't at that level of, next man up. It's level of, we need everyone in performing at their highest capability, and we need to put our best team out there because they need the reps. Ricky's out for a couple of weeks on suspension from that high shot for that blind hit he did on Murray. We still got an injured Rocco Berry and a newly injured Sean Johnson, which I'd like to touch on as well. His latest social media post, and it's fair enough to me, there's so many keyboard warriors out there saying, F you, F this, get himself off social media, go yourself, go kill yourself, shit like that. Like, come on, man. He's just a human. He's a player. Like, I think what was the worst we said about him? The whole team sucks. We said that. I think in terms of Sean, it was go back to reserve grade, refine your skill, come back hungrier. We get to see Tamati Martin back in the 7, which is, for me as a Broncos guy, going to be tough because he was their only shining light last week. He was the only one who got across the line. So that's going to be sort of something for us to navigate. The Warriors do get to welcome back Mitchie Barnett as well, which will be a huge relief to them. He's by far their biggest workhorse. The Broncos have named Walsh, Haas, Carrigan all in the reserves. So I'd expect them all to back up. I'd expect, Carrigan to be back in that lock, Haas back in that prop, shift Willison, I reckon, to second row, drop go Suwali'i. He don't need to be there. I'm stoked to see Jesse back because it means no Corey. I'm sick of seeing Corey Oates out there. He hasn't been doing anything on this team except take up a roster spot. I was hoping we would have got to see Jordan Pereira at some point. But nah, Kevy knows best apparently, and that's why we're losing. Struggling to stay in the 8. We were lucky to stay in the 8, but we had to buy, so we got an automatic, a couple of points. Yeah, look, I'm holding that negative energy, man. I'm holding a lot of negative energy for this Broncos team just because we've lost 3 in a row now. I think maybe the same as the Warriors, but we can't beat the Panthers. We haven't beaten the Dolphins. No, we beat the Dolphins. Yeah, so, Warriors have picked up some big wins that, we haven't been able to. No, they don't quite have that G squad back in there yet, but I know that G squad won't be too far off, but the matchup I'm looking most forward to this weekend is Dallin versus Dean. Dean's a prolific winger. He's got a lot more speed than Dallin, and I think he might expose Dallin's defensive weaknesses because I know Dallin's going to try and shoot off the line and try and jump for that intercept. And, if you give Dean some space, we've seen it against Alex Johnston, man. Dean's Alex's daddy, man, when it comes to one-on-one matchups. He had him twice this season. But in terms of wins, I think it's one apiece, so it's even Stevens there. Cobbo's back after taking a rest the other week and not being called up for Origin, so that's good to see. But yeah, look, the Broncos have had a week off to sort of sort their shit out, figure things out. I'm actually going to go with the Warriors at home. I'm going to back them. Yeah, surprisingly enough. The Broncos need to impress me. They need to impress me. And they've failed to do that 4 weeks now. For 4 weeks, they've just failed to impress me. 4 consecutive games, I should say. The Warriors, they'll be looking for a big bounce back after that down trail last week that they suffered at the hands of the Titans. And I expect they will be drilling all week. There won't be no time for breaks. There won't be no time for, hoorays and let's have some fun. I do think a weakness that the Broncos could look to exploit is Roger in the centres, both on attack and on defence. Obviously, he knows how to tackle, but his positioning, sometimes he gets left out of position just because he has to cover for his winger or he has to make certain reads that sometimes don't always come off because he's not a natural centre. He's a fullback or a winger. So I'll be looking forward to the Broncos trying to exploit that. But Warriors at home, let's see them get up. I hope they wear the Heritage jerseys out. I'd like to see the 95 Broncos jersey versus the 95 Warriors jerseys. It'll be a lot of white on white, but I reckon it'll be a cool matchup.
Yeah, what am I looking forward to in this game? You kind of said it right at the early start. We love it. We absolutely love it. And yeah, a little bit gutted that we didn't make the drive up, but hey, it is what it is. We'll put that on the to-do list for next year, maybe. Look, I don't know how you picked the Warriors to win this game after what happened last week. Like 66-6. I just don't know how you bounce back from that. You're facing a team in your Broncos that are also coming off a bye. We talked about it before, right? Then some teams need a bye because of injuries. Some teams need a bye because they're just losing games that maybe they shouldn't be losing. And some teams, unfortunately, have a bye when they probably don't want it. I think the byes might have been the best thing that happened to your Broncos, eh? And, they're coming over. What?
Because when we came off the last bye, we played the Sharks and got pumped 22-12.
No, that was then, bro. This is now.
We haven't won anything since we lost to the Titans at home.
Yeah, and I don't know how you guys lost that game. To be fair, the Titans have been on the up. They've been one of the risers, right? But I just don't. I don't know. Like, yeah, I guess you just chalk last week, right? Like, what do you do as a coach, right? Your team just got smoked 66-6. It just wasn't pretty. You can't really take anything from it. Right? Like, what can you take from it? It's just like, oh, look, forget about that game. We'll go into next week, just park it. It is what it is. But, like, what? I don't know, man. Tristan Sailor, I know you're kind of... Well, you're off the bandwagon, for Tristan? Right.
Not off it. He just needs to go back to reserve grade and refine those skills a little bit, especially the kicking and decision making.
That sounds off it to me. Look, I mean, we've said it right with your Broncos. It's Reynolds. When you have Reynolds, this is a completely different team. Reynolds is when is he due back? Actually, do you know?
Like round 21.
Oh, it might be 21 season over by the time he gets there. Look, I just can't see it with these wires, but I've said it plenty of times in the past, the team where I said I don't see it and then they somehow get the victory. I have picked your Broncos to win this game, even away from home. Good to see the bro GC Arthur's back, and like you said, Dean, big fan. But you just never know, man, because it's not Roger, it's what's his name? Berrier that's out. For the Waz G team? Or for their trial team?
Yeah.
It's Rocco.
Oh, no. Rocco's starter. He's a starter. It was that other centre that they had, that big booty guy.
Big booty guy?
Yeah, they had this big centre, G.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know who that is.
Both Roger and Rocco were injured at one point in time.
Laban?
Nah. He was in the second row. Not Jacob.
I don't know then.
I'll look it up. But yeah, carry on. Oh, also, Adam isn't back until round 22. I thought he'll be back for the Bulldogs game, but apparently not.
Yeah, well, your season might be over by then. Look, hopefully the what's his name, Webster, can work his magic because he needs to. We had high expectation of these wires at the start of the season. They haven't quite lived up to it. And, at times they've gotten that old nickname that they used to have, the old Sorriers. Hopefully they could turn around. I just don't see how. And I don't know, it almost seems like... Do you remember last year how it was the Serraldo, Webster, both of them left Penrith at the same time, and it was like, well, who got the better coach? Because everyone was looking at Serraldo. No one was even looking at Webster. And then I know when we lost against them, there was a sign saying we got the better Penrith coach, and everyone was saying, oh man, this Webster guy was... How did no other teams look at him like he's been doing so well? And there were kind of question marks of Serraldo. It's kind of flipped this year. Like now everyone can see like Serraldo's plan or his and Gus's plan. They can see his imprint on the Bulldogs and how it was kind of like, oh, okay, they had to get rid of those other players because now look at who they have and what they're building. Where Webster's kind of, I know, taking like steps back, really.
Yeah.
So it's kind of interesting. It's almost like the two coaches have flipped their years. Like Serraldo's the one coming through and everyone can see it now. Webster's kind of got the question marks. But I still think he's a good coach, Obviously, based on what he did last year, that kind of doesn't go away. But, hard when you got injuries to key players. And I don't know, maybe it's sank in that locker room. I'm not too sure. But look, I've picked the Broncos to win this one. so I'm going to stick with them. I do think Man could have a big game, but I'm going to go Broncos to win 30-18, since the Waz like to leak a lot of points, apparently. But yeah, that's
It
all
is
I've got.
both of these teams are two of the worst defensive teams in the comp. I think it's them, the Tigers, Titans. Yeah, the 4 worst defensive teams in the comp.
Not surprised. But yes, moving on to the second game of Super Saturday. It's 7:30 at McDonald Jones Stadium. We have the Knights facing the bottom of the table Eels. Okay, apparently they're 17th. Shame. That's what you get when you fire Brad Uffers and you want to get Trent Barrett as your coach, you dumbasses. So a little note here. Apparently there was something that came out. They say Trent Barrett was the hot favourite to become the full-time coach. But then there's reports saying that, like, he's still in the mix, no doubt. He might still be the favourite. But apparently the board was saying that they don't like the fact that apparently the players might have a bit too much power on him or something like that. It was weird, like,
Oh, is he too buddy?
yeah, I think so, might be. Idiot. That's all I know. But anyway, we'll go on about this team and all my thoughts. We have the Knights, who the biggest change they've made is in the halves. They have, I believe this is debut, right? They have the debut of Will Price at number 6. He'll be partnering Jackson Hastings, which means it is Cogger that got dropped. Look, we said it a few weeks ago, right? Like, they weren't, or it's not that they weren't gelling, it's just their halves were just lacking some sort of like attacking proud. They were kind of more just shufflers and like not engaging the line. And when they don't engage the line, their attack just looks lackluster, to be honest. So something had to be changed. And was it the right call to drop Cogger and keep Hastings? I don't know. Guess we'll find out. And but this Will Price guy, he's the one that Andrew Johns has been talking up quite a bit. And I think what he said was, why not give him a chance? If nothing changes, you're just going to keep getting the same results. So why not throw him in, see what he's got? Because you can always go back to it, right?
Yeah, 100%.
You can always go back to it. So interesting to see how the bro goes. At fullback, you have Fletcher Sharp. He's held on to a spot where David Armstrong might be going to Super League. There was reports saying he might have a deal on the table there, eh?
Lee Leopards is who has offered him the contract, and I think the Knights have said they're not going to get in the way of it.
Yeah, well, fair enough. Just to think, who was it looking at him? Was it the Roosters, eh?
Yeah.
And then they played us, and he decided to not catch the ball because of it. Crazy how one game can just change everything, eh?
Yeah.
When was the last time? Did both these teams... See, this is what happens when half the league has the bye, eh? You kind of feel like you haven't seen him in ages, and now it's like, well, what did you fucking do last time we seen you? Honestly.
I think the Eels lost last time, so did the Knights.
Yeah. I think so too. But did they have the bye last week?
Yeah, both teams had the bye because I have players on both teams in my fantasy team, and hey man, we played with 10 people.
Hey, that's not good.
But prior to that, the Eels lost 18-28 versus the Roosters, and the Knights lost 18-26 versus the Panthers. Both home losses for both those teams.
And then as I look towards these Eels team, you got the young buck Blaze Talangi on the wing. Sean Russell kind of still holding that spot at centre. I don't know what I think of Sean Russell, if I'm being honest with you. Like, Will Penasini, solid. He's there, but Sean Russell, I guess he can play that centre wing. And, oh no, actually, I think he's the right choice considering who they got on the bench. Like, I don't think, what's his name? Simonson's the answer. Morgan Harper hasn't been the same since he got owned in that one half. So he might be the only option there, really.
Well, isn't Simonson out for the season?
Oh, okay. That would explain why he's not there. Yeah. Okay.
And I don't think they've got a strong enough winger because I thought Talangi would be better in the centres instead of on the wing.
Well, I think Russell can play both, so I think they can both
So
play
they
both.
just
So I wouldn't be surprised if they switch last second. Wouldn't be much of a surprise. Looking at the forward packs. Once again, bro, you look at this Eels forward pack and you're like, how are you guys dead last? Like, for
yeah.
real. Like,
Well,
you
it's
look
because
at the.
they dropped off when they lost Mitchell Moses. That was the team. That was the
Yeah,
death of the team.
pretty much was the teammate. Guffo can, like, kind of keep them afloat. But I feel as though if Moses isn't there, Guffo can keep you in the game, but he he's got like doesn't have that closer where Moses there he can kind of like bring the game home.
Yeah.
And Dylan Brown, oh poor Dylan Brown.
There's
I still
rumors
like him,
speculating that the
I
Warriors are pursuing Dylan Brown.
really I could see it.
Because Sean hasn't confirmed whether or not he's coming back next year.
I think after his injury, that might be it. That might be it.
Yeah, well, especially with social
If he
media,
had
everyone
another
just
season
bagging
like
him.
he did last year, yeah, tough all day. Everyone wants to be that guy until they're that guy, and then you get all the responsibility and all the hate. Some people can't hack it, man. Not saying that he
Yeah.
can't, because I feel he's a lot more mature now, so he knows and he's been through it before. So I believe him when he says, it doesn't matter to him. Like he knows how to navigate it now. But still, man, it's not easy. But
Nah.
yeah, I'm still a fan of Dylan Brown, man. I don't know. I think maybe he had a bit too much on his plate this year. He had to do everything, and it kind of overshadowed. Maybe not overshadowed. Maybe he thought too much as opposed to just keeping it basic. Take it back to basics and just do your role. Kind of forced his hand too much, and it showed up with weeks or maybe like a month there where he just didn't look good at all. But this is one of the few games where I couldn't pick a winner. And because I don't like Trent Barrett, I'm kind of going with the Knights again. Man, part of me hopes they hire him because then I know that they're going to suck and it's going to be better. But for the Eels fans, I hope that they don't pick him. He's an elite assistant, but some coaches are made to be assistant and not head coaches. And I think he's one of them. So based on that, Trent Barrett's being the Eels coach, I will switch my vote and go with the Knights. Could I give you a score? Not really, but we will go with 24-18 to the Knights. Looking for Brandon Best to have a good game here, potentially player of the game. That's all I got for you. I'll hand it over to you. What are your thoughts on this game, bro?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see Will Price come out and do whatever it is that Andrew Johns says he can do. Like I said, they got nothing to lose, so why not play him? I'm interested to see what kind of a player he is, if he's a ball runner, if he's more of a kicker, if he's got that short game or that long game. It's just going to be fun to watch. I think they're going to look to target Fletcher Sharp and Bradman Best, get them attacking early and often. We said this earlier on in the year, when Bradman Best went down, just before he went down, the Knights were really rolling. Then he went down and they kind of plundered a bit. With him back, the whole attack on this Knights team relies on how many meters Bradman can get. Because, man, he can break tackles like no one else, man. He is just covered in Vaseline where he's out there. It just feels like no one can really grab him, but he's slippery, man. And gay guy, that wily veteran that can still get it done. Still not sold on his kicking, eh? Like, who chose him? Is there not anyone better that can kick? Surely. Oh, heck. Hopefully Will Price can give the boys a boost there. In terms of forwards, yeah, you'd think the Parramatta forwards have the edge. But these Newcastle Knight boys, they just know how to, stand up and weather the storm from time to time. But I am looking at the Eels. I am looking for them to bounce back after that last loss versus the Roosters. Mitchell Moses should be coming out of Origin camp with a boosted confidence, especially, given the results tonight. He'll be wanting to, follow up on that performance and go out there and really prove to everybody why he deserves to continuously be in that conversation for halfback. Blaze Talangi is another player that I'm extremely looking forward to watching. I think he could take Gutho's spot, if the Eels decide to keep him. He's just got more versatility to him. You know, Gutho is primarily just that fullback, but Talangi, he's a little bit more electric. You said it before, you know, Gutho can keep you in the game. We saw flashes of Talangi's brilliance versus the Broncos, man. He's got that, what's that word? That je ne sais quoi about him. You know, he can.
Good hell.
I heard Stephen A. Smith say it.
What? Yeah.
He's got that how te kupu Pākehā mo te
Or that X Factor.
yeah, man. He's got that something about him. Not quite like Reece Walsh-esque, but like, you know, he can attack, man. He can attack. So I'd like to see them try him there. But I guess, you know, Trent Barrett, like you said, might be too buddy-buddy with some of these boys and won't be able to maximize their potential and won't be willing to cut people or shift people out of position. Because maybe, can Gutho play in the centres? Surely.
I'd say so. Yeah, I think that's the move they were thinking about, was him to centre.
Yeah, move him to centre, Sean to the wing, Talangi to fullback. Let me see it. Let me see it. Not that I'm like a coach really. I just want to see different combinations. I hate seeing the same shit and like nothing changes. Like this is why I get so frustrated with the Broncos. It's because we get the same fucking lineup week in and week out. And what do we get? The same fucking results. A big fat fucking L. So yeah, I'm all about changing these lines because I guess, you know, when you play like NBA 2K and you're playing like GM mode, man, if this lineup ain't working, you're gone. You're gone. You're gone. You're coming in. You're coming in. Draft picks out the window. We're trying to win today. So yeah, that's my mentality when it comes to team lineups and coaching. And this is why we need a rugby league live game to see, you know, whose method of coaching works the best. If you don't perform, you're sacked. Or if it's we'll sit on you and we'll see how this lineup goes and hopefully we'll see something happen. What's interesting to see too is earlier in the season, it was Brennan Hands on the bench and Lussick starting. And then Hands was dropped entirely because Brad Arthur wanted to go with just one hooker. And then all of a sudden, I think ever since Barrett took over, Hands has been the starting hooker.
Yeah, I think
so. That's an interesting one to look out for as well. But Hans has been playing pretty well. I hope he keeps that position because I have him in my fantasy team. I'm also looking forward to seeing Jermaine Hopgood back. And because he's not in this team, I think they lack that little bit extra through the middle. And because of that, I've got to go with the Knights. Just because during that period where, what's his name? Moses was out injured. Hopgood was that guy. Hopgood was their main man. And, you know, he got an Origin 1 call-up. Obviously can't play Origin for last night because of his back injury. But hopefully we get to see him out there on the field again soon because he's in my fantasy team and I need him back ASAP. I need those points. But, yeah, I've got to go with the Knights in this one. It just, yeah. I'd like to see the Eels do all right, but nah, I've got the Knights. I got the Knights by 12 and under. Heading over to the last game on Saturday night. It is the Melbourne Storm taking on the Canberra Raiders. 9:35 kickoff here in New Zealand at Amy Park in Melbourne. So a home game for the Storm. And the Storm welcome back Harry Grant. And that's it, eh? Is he the only... Oh, no, and Coates. So two Origin players for Melbourne and no one for the Raiders, I'm assuming. The Raiders, they're looking for a little bit of a bounce back this week. We all know that Ricky would have tuned them up. We thought maybe try Chevy Stewart, and shift Raps out onto the wing somewhere. Guess they're not rolling with that this week. They've got Hopoate coming in on the wing to replace Kotrick. They weren't happy with Kotrick. Kotrick wasn't the issue last week. The issue last week was Rapana. He couldn't kick for shit. His dropouts went into the crowd. They weren't going to 10. He was kicking out on the full of kickoff. Look, Raps, back to the wing for you, brother, in my opinion. And yeah, bring on that young bloke. You're not going to the top 8 this year, I don't think. The season is just a practice run for you fellas. So why not bring in the young blood? Get them game time. They're never going to be ready if they're not getting the game time to showcase that they are ready. Yes, he's still only 18, 19, super young, but you're not winning, like the Knights are doing with Andrew Johns' prodigy. Why not? Nothing's changing. You're not going to win more. You're not going to lose any less. So why not? Good to see our boy Jack Howarth getting named in the centres this week, getting some game time. Let's go. Super stoked for the bro Jack. It's been a long time coming, so I hope he can really solidify his spot in the starting lineup because, there's definitely other clubs that would utilise a centre second rower like him. Off the top of the head, probably could go to the Warriors, probably could go to Tigers, could probably pick him up. Maybe the Bulldogs, they could do with a second row. Dragons could utilise him really well, I reckon. He'd be actually pretty good at the Dragons. That's something they could consider. But anyway, Harry Grant and Xavier Coates backing up from Origin. I'm at a loss with the Raiders. Like we've been saying all season, I'm not too sure what their game plan is. I'm not too sure what their identity is. You said ever since they lost Fogarty, it's been up and down. I kind of like the speed that Kyle Weeks plays at. Like Ethan Strange, he's probably been one of the better sixes this season. He's probably one of the most consistent, although last game he fell off a little bit. But, prior to that, he's been fairly consistent throughout the season. He hasn't been balling out for one game then fall off the next. He's kind of just been plodding along. Not bad for your rookie season, so hats off to him there. I mean, maybe some... Nah, I think for the Raiders, you just have to play off the back of the forwards. If the forwards aren't going to get you any go forward, I don't think the backs have that X factor to get going, not without Fogarty. Like, Fogarty had that kicking game that got Savage into it, that passing game that got Savage into the game, and Timoko into the game. These two don't quite play like that. And looking at the Storm, it's going to be off the back of Hughes. Hughes has really stepped up this season. He has, shown why he is that guy. And full props to Hughes for being able to add elements of his game to keep improving and keep bettering himself because, he's becoming a perennial 7 in this game. Like this, I'm just throwing in words, man. I'm just throwing in words. Just call me the thesaurus. Ooh. Right-click synonyms. Hey, if you've ever done any studies, you know. If you know, you know. Right-click synonyms, brothers. Elisa Katoa has been balling out these past few weeks, man. He has white line fever. He's been all over it. He's a smoky for a bit of a white line impact again. Who do I think has the best bench? Holy shit, Danny Levi's been benched. I don't know. I didn't know how I didn't realise that from looking at the starting lineup. And then I go to interchange. I'm like, what? Danny Levi's on the bench? No way. So they got Marcus Mariota on the bench as well for the Raiders. Yeah. I think the Storm is going to win this game comfortably. I think there's just going to be a strong kicking game there from Hughes. A good run game, like a good support game from Wishart as well. I think Hughes might end up playing both sides of the field this one just for a bit of variety and attack. Because it's coming into the back end of the season now. So I think the Storm might look to experiment on a few different plays. Heading into finals, they want to have a few trick plays up their sleeve. So look out for a little bit of mix and match kind of play style as they prepare for the finals. Because they had a close game in the weekend just gone against who did they play? Was it the Dolphins? So Expect them to sort of come back a little tougher. I think Jack Howard could probably get a try this weekend too. He's looked close, and when he played for the Māoris, he was looking close at diving over that line. So that's where I'm looking at. My main points of attack for the Storm will be off of Hughes' kicking game and his run and pass with a bit of Pappenhuisen run support. That's what I've got for the Storm.
Yeah, to be honest, man, I think this one's could get ugly. The Raiders, I feel as though have been free falling for the last couple of rounds yet, and I think the Storm is not a side that will play you into form. You know what I mean? Like, I feel as though if you're free falling, you play the Storm, you're just going to fall even more. Where if you are going to them with some form, then you have a shot. And I just don't see it. I think this one could. I don't necessarily think it will get ugly, but it could. I feel as though it could be real dominant for the Storm, and hopefully, we can see some good things from them. Like you said, finally get to see our boy Jack Howarth. He's getting more minutes now. I just had a look. This is according to Zero Tackle now, because we always talk about like a team should sign him. Bro, apparently he's there till 2027.
Bro, why'd you sign that long of a contract? Jesus.
Like, I remember when he signed, his contract was long. I don't think it was that long. And while I was there, I also looked up, because Nash, right? Everyone's been thinking about Nash and them releasing him early. I think if they do release him early, he could go to rugby to play for Aussie. I could see that, because apparently that was like the word on the street, was that the Aussie team were looking hard at him and were trying to get him. But he's signed there till 2027 as well. 28's a mutual option.
Oh.
Whaolongo signed there for till 28.
Storm, they've snapped up these young blokes for a long time.
For a long time.
The Broncos need to take note, man.
Yep. Pappenhausen till next year, 25, which means he can speak to teams at the end of this year.
What do you reckon? Do you reckon Bellyache's going to keep him around, or do you think Whaolongo's the future?
I mean, your best ability is availability, right? And you have one player who's just always injured half the time. I think if he does sign, Pep, it can't be on 800k, because apparently that's what he's on.
Oof.
Yeah,
because the sample size hasn't been the greatest.
When he plays, he's electric, right? Like, he's so good. There were talks about, remember, like, it was a few years back where it was Pep against Teddy for the number 1 jersey for New South. Dylan Edwards was like a distant 3rd or 4th. Because he's been injured so much, Dylan Edwards has just pretty much taken it from him, and now no one would even question it. So, I don't know, man.
And he still runs hard currently. Like, he plays like he hasn't had, any leg injuries lately.
Yeah.
So, he's still that dog.
It'll be interesting to see what happens. I could see them. I think if he does resign, it won't be nearly on 800k, which means a team could come in and try swoop him. Be interesting to see where he goes. Jonah Pezzett, their future number 7, I believe. He's also only signed till next year. It's just hard to say, right? Because you got Munster. He's there till 2027. Hughes is 26. So.
Hughes will get signed up. Hughes will get re-signed straight away, because the way he's performing right now, wicked.
Yeah, I don't see him going anywhere. I think he will finish his career at Storm. Same with Grant. Grant's on like a mill, so you know what I mean? It's just going to be interesting to see what happens. But that's enough about the Storm, really. I said that because I don't know what's going to happen when Nelson. And with Stefano being free to, talk to clubs, as well, that's what we're hearing from the Tigers. Could you conjure up just a straight swap? Straight Stefano for Nelson. Something to look at. I mean, we know that the Tigers in Melbourne have history with doing trades, right? That's how Harry Grant got onto the scene with the Grant Momorowski trade. Was it? I think that was a trade. Paul Morawski for Harry Grant. Yeah. And then, Harry Grant jumps on the scene, has that amazing rookie year, caps it off with their origin victory, then goes back to the Storm, and the rest is history. But I wonder if Stefano, and maybe an unhappy Nelson, I don't know if he's happy or not, hard to tell. They just ring them up and say, hey, would you be interested in a straight swap? And maybe both teams have been for something to think about, something to ponder up. But honestly, if I'm looking at this Raiders team, I honestly have nothing for you. Nick Kotrick, glad he got dropped. Albert Hopewade, I mean, I don't know what he can offer. Surely it'll be more than Kotrick, though. Ethan Strange and Kyle Weeks, again, still learning their crafts. You said it, bro. They go as good as their forward pack goes. And their forward pack is good. It's solid. I'd say it's still elite. Type in there, Papali, Hudson Young, Elliot Whitehead, Smithies has been playing good. But you kind of need a little bit more these days, right? And when you look at this team, I just don't see it. Because I don't see it, I just don't see how they could come away with this victory. So I've gone with the Storm in a dominant victory. Final score, I'm going to go... Let's go 36-12. I'm going to go with Jerome Hughes, man of the match. And low-key, he might be my dark horse for Dally M. Just saying.
Is that your too soon?
Yeah, well, since Munster's just not even close, I've got to jump on someone's bandwagon. So, I've got to ride the momentum here, and he's a Kiwi boy, one of the cousins. So, and he's been playing good. He's just been playing good. So I might put my support behind him. Obviously, I wouldn't say no to Burden or Kickout getting it, but I don't think Kickout's got any points since he hit the top of the leaderboard. And Burden, I think, has been getting like the odd point here and there, like a 2 points here or 1 point there. But yeah, man, I think Jerome Hughes, dark horse, Dalian, heard it here first. But that is all I've got for that game. We will now shift to the first game of Sunday, and can you believe it? They have not one, not two, but 3 games on a Sunday. It will be tough, but your boys will get through it. So game number 1, kicking off at 4 p.m. Sunday, 30th of June, at where the hell is this? Jubilee Stadium in Sydney. You have the 9th place St. George Illawarra Dragons against the 5th place Dolphins. I never
What
try.
Is it? Net Strata.
Net Strata? I've never heard. I'm pretty sure that's like the sponsor, but I know I've heard of Jubilee Stadium. Yeah, see? There you go. And look, to be fair, this is a game that I kind of struggled on, like to pick. I think I went with the Dolphins just because I kind of trust them a little bit more than I trust the Dragons. Like, I trust Zach Lomax. I trust Ben Hunt. Rest of this team, I don't know. Sometimes they be like on, and when they're on, they're on. But sometimes they also be off. And when they're off, it just isn't it. But I don't really have many storylines coming out of this game, really. To be honest with you, even as I'm looking through the team, it's looking pretty stock standard for both sides. But I think this is a game that, the Dolphins, again, they want to solidify themselves in that top 8 and even push for that top 4. To be honest, at the start of the year, these are 2 teams that I had nowhere near the top 8. I had the Dragons winning the spoon. I had the Dolphins, well, definitely not a top 8 team, maybe in that 12 to 14 range. So they've both exceeded expectations. And I think that now for Dolphins, expectations have changed. You should be expected to finish in the top 8. I think they should be able to hold on to it and get their first berth in only their second year in the comp and in Wayne Bennett's last year as their coach. The question is, can they deliver it? I don't know. That's still to be determined. I see Tessie New is now in the team at wing. That must mean Bostock is gone. I kind of like Bostock. Never heard of him before this season. He's kind of grown on me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Cody Nicodemus having a vintage bounce back year. Am I surprised that it happened in a contract year? No, I am not. Isaiah Katoa just continues to get better every week, and I think he will, if they go on to win it, will be off the back of him. Averillo and Herbie Farnworth are starting to get better. I think the more games they play, they're solidifying themselves and locking down those centre spots. And it is a solid centre pairing. You got Jermaine Osako, who just scores points for fun. And you got Hammer at the back there, who just scores tries for fun. Look, Jesse Bromwich, he's still around. And he's paired up with his brother Kenny at prop. Jeremy Marshall King just re-signed. You got Ewan Aiken at Sekiro and Max Plath. He's a rookie, eh? He's one that you've been looking at, eh?
Yeah, bro, he's been good, but I don't think he's eligible. I think he might have got something because I've been watching Clarkie's thing and he's not eligible.
Not eligible, that's unfortunate. And of course, you got Tavita Pangai Jr., who's on interchange yet again for his second game. Rumour has it that if he plays well enough, he might be going to the Rabbitohs. Because I think he's only signed for the year. And obviously he went because Wayne, pretty much called him up and asked him to come back. So he pretty much, has like a 10-week trial period to prove that he's still got it. And if he plays good enough, you might see him at the Rabbitohs with Wayne again.
Is Wayne just pulling everyone out? Is Darius Boyd coming back? Because Benji got to start playing again. Come on now.
Look, man, I never know, but I mean, the one thing Pangai will always have on his favour is that he's a big body, great offload, and when he gets it right, he's still so bloody good. He always had the potential to be great. It's just sometimes, it's all the other things, right? The other things that come with him, the baggage, his, I don't know what stupid things he likes to do. It's everything else. So, yeah, in terms of the Dragon Man, I don't know, to be honest with you. But I think I'm going to go with the Dolphins. In a close one, I'm going to go 24-20 to the Dolphins. And this one, we could see the Dragons start to slide down the ladder and Dolphins solidify themselves as a top 8 team for their first playoff berth in only their second year. But that is me. I'll hand it over to you to see what you have.
All right. So, yeah, looking at this Dolphins side, I think in order for them to win, it's going to come through the hammer off broken play and support play. And then I think a lot of it's going to be through the forwards up the middle of this Dragons side. That's where I think the Dolphins should be looking to attack. As for the Dragons, I thought they'd have some good attack on the edges, going through Faitala Mariner or Sua, then into the centres, and then out to Lomax or Whiangai on the wing. But I forgot Bird's injured. So it's Whiangai, Max and Matthew in the centre wing combo. And then we got Moses Sully and Zach Lomax on the other side. So that's my only question. I know that we can trust in Lomax. We can trust in Ben Hunt to put up a kick and Lomax to come through and chase it. I do think that Herbie will be able to catch a lot of those kicks that Ben Hunt puts up for Lomax to come running through close to the line. In all honesty, I think this is going to be a close game, and it's going to come down to who can complete the most sets. I know that's standard footy, but in recent weeks, a lot of the teams have been playing with a lot of unforced errors, just creeping into the game, not completing sets. So I think whoever completes the most sets, Captain Obvious, will win this game. But if it's sort of a very highly contested game, then yeah, I think Dolphins can get it through the hammer and through the middle of their forwards. If the Dragons do it, then yeah, they probably found a way to exploit the edges. I just think the edges suit the Dragons a little better than it does the Dolphins. I think the middle of the field is where the Dolphins will attack. Heading over to the second to last game of the Sunday marathon. We have at 6:05 New Zealand time is the kickoff at Bluebet Stadium in Penrith. The Panthers host the Cowboys in what should be a great matchup. You see the returning stars to the Panthers. No Cleary yet. He's still out for how much longer? Let's have a quick look. Panthers. Cleary is due back round 20, so it's still a little while away. It has Peachy on the reserve. Didn't Peachy retire?
At the end of the year.
So he's retiring at the end of the year. So probably look to see him just get random game times out of nowhere, just to give him that one last send-off at one point. Taumalolo starting prop. So our boy Niame has been moved back to the bench, and Taumalolo has been shifted back into that starting rotation for the Cowboys, which I guess means that coach is just looking to rotate Jason to alleviate some of his minutes so he can last into the later half of the season, is what we're experiencing here. Luai at 7, J. Cole at 6. In all honesty, I think the Panthers are going to win this game just through their back five and their halves. Yes, you got Townsend and maybe Dearden. Dearden's named but not named. At least Robson this time around is named on the reserves. So you're most likely going to see all these lads playing. So if you are looking to get to this game, you're probably going to see the likes of Robson, Cotter, Holmes, Tolangi, and Dearden all back in that starting lineup because it's ages away until their game. But yeah, look, for me, it's going to come off the back of some strong carries from the Panthers backs to give the forwards a rest. We all know that they come up at you very quickly off the line of scrimmage to shut down any plays, and the Cowboys, they've been hit and miss so far this season. They're up and down, lots more downs than there have been ups, and the Panthers just keep rolling. So I've got to back the Panthers in this one. I'm going to say Panthers by 14 plus. And I'm looking forward to a big game from Fish and Mo. I reckon those two are going to need to stand up in this game because all the rest of their forwards pretty much have played Origin. Well, most of this team actually has played Origin. So you look for the Kiwi boys to stand up. That's James, Scott, Mo to sort of put their hands up and go, get on our back, brothers. Watch this. Booyah! So, yeah, look out for that, Etefano. But that's my quick analysis on this game.
Look, to be honest, I think this could be a landslide for the Panthers. Although, had they played last year, or was the last time they played the one where Drinkwater scored that game winner? And was it OT? They shaped to go for the drop kick. Penrith rushed up too much, shifted towards the right. It got to Drinkwater. He screwed down that right side through that dummy, then came back on the inside. He stepped Edwards. It was like last play of the game, pretty much, and they stole it. I feel as though that was last.
I think that was last year, three games ago between these two teams. Because previously this year in Townsville they lost 20-26, and then last year they got smoked 44-12.
So they have played this year already. All right, then. Well, yeah, look, I think Penrith could put a number on them, to be honest, especially if the Origin players don't play. And I predict, that if Queensland do win it, I think a lot of their players will be too wasted to be playing on the weekend. But then, yeah, you just never know. And I think Penrith are going to Penrith, man. They're too strong, too solid. And if you put your B team up against them, you're going to get absolutely walloped. And even if against your A team, they still got a lot to ask for. And I just think this might be a task too tall. So every way that I look at it, I just got Penrith winning, and maybe in a dominant fashion. Yeah, unfortunately about our boy now being shifted to 17th, that's rude. but all good. Like, you could at least, what, Harrison Edwards is the hooker? Nah, you're having me on
Nah, it's
there.
because Robson's going to get named on
That's
Sunday.
right. Yes, I was going to say, because that is weird. But yeah, like, I think I'll just keep this one nice and quick. I got Panthers, final score, I don't know, 30-6.
Oh,
Yeah, I do think it could be quite dominant, eh? But, you know, like with these things, I could also be completely wrong. I've been completely wrong on more than one occasions this year. You know,
me too.
That's just, we try our best to give you what I think's going to happen, and then
That's why it's just a practice run, cuz.
whatever happens, happens, mate. But anyway, moving on to the final game of round 17. And it kicks off at a late time of 8:15. NRL, let me just repeat that. 8:15 on a Sunday.
Shucks, that's a 10 p.m. finish.
That's a 10 p.m. finish, and you know what that is? That is too late. Okay?
I'll work the next day, Eels.
Like, I don't...
This ain't a grand final.
The saying it's all I know. But anyway, the game kicking off at 8:15 on Sunday, the 30th of June, is your Roosters, who are hosting this game at the Allianz Stadium in Sydney, and they'll be hosting Vince's West Tigers, who low-key, last couple of weeks, looked pretty on. But I'm going to let you know now that all stops now. Their run that they've had, their 2 games that they've been absolutely doing business, it ends here and it ends now at the hands of the Roosters. Honestly, looking at this Roosters team, man, Suwali'i at centre, I don't know if this is just like how it is now and it's likely to change. My guess is that it is, but we can only go off what we have in front of us. So they've got Suwali'i, who's there to be at centre. Apparently, he's met with Serrato.
Oh, yo.
Yeah, that's what the news is. He's met with Serrato and Gus. To be fair, we don't really need another second rower.
Yeah.
But to me, that's our strongest position in the forwards pack. We have, Preston, Kikau, who is a solid starting combo. Salmon has been solid for us. Not spectacular, but he hasn't warranted to being dropped. So he's been good. And I think those 3 are just a great combination. They complement each other well. So if we were to get Suwali'i, it would mean, one, he's coming off the bench and it would be in the middle forward role. I don't know how much he suits that. I think he's a hard runner. That's one thing that I've always liked about his game, is that he can just run a good line and he can run hard. But I don't know if he can do that in the middle or if it's more suited to the edge. To be honest, I think we have bigger needs, but he is quality. And the question is he still young? Because my thing would change if he's young. Ooh, 27. I don't know.
No, that's not young enough.
Yeah, I was hoping like at worst 24. 27? Fucking how long has it been? How old's what? That sounds too old for me. He's really 27. No. Wow.
How old was Trey Fuller? He's not a spring chicken.
Oh. I mean, he's the same age as Joey Manu.
Oh.
Right, and Joey Manu, well, I mean, I guess, right, like, obviously their side's hard to crack. And he's kind of been, because of the position he plays, he's kind of been behind a lot of greats. So maybe that's why he hasn't cracked 100 games yet. But nah, look, Suwali'i, you can stay where you are, brother. Stay there and hope it works out for you. Looking at the rest of the team, Brandon Smith is back. First game, of course, of there's rumours that he will be moving on. Interesting to see where he goes to. Did he play last game?
Yeah, and he balled out last game too.
Boo. Oh, wow. And obviously all of their Origin players have been slated to back up, which is what you would expect considering you have the last game of the round. Over to the West Tigers now. You have old Adam Duwehe back at centre. He's kind of like, even though they've been going through this bad patch of form, he's kind of been the one player that has been good consistently. And he was, 14 months on. He was the feel-good story of last week with his try. Played really well, so he's deserved of a spot. I believe he got a 1-year extension from the Tigers.
Oh, yo.
Yeah.
Hey, that's confidence.
Is Olam injured?
Olam suspended?
Oh, suspended. Yeah, that makes sense
I
because
think so.
Brett Naden somehow is still in this team. I don't know. Is that Luke Lowlily? Is that the one that scored? I don't know. He was a winger. I thought he was a. Okay, well he's there
No,
on
he's
the
a centre winger too.
centre winger. All right. Well, I guess when you score on debut, you deserve your spot. Of course, the story coming out of the West Tigers is Stefano getting permission to talk to other clubs, and I expect he will leave. Yeah, Uppy doing Uppy things. I like the second railway Samuel Fainu. Big fan, man. I really am. I like the way he plays, and I always forget whether I'm pretty sure they're related. The one off the bench, Sione Fainu. I just can't remember if they're cousins or brothers. I don't know.
Yo.
But
I'm impressed too by him. He's good.
Yeah, he has been good. Oh, John Bateman's on the reserves. I thought he was. Nah, I'm pretty sure he's injured and out for a long time.
Oh, there's Olam.
So yeah, Olam's down there too. Might be suspended as well.
Might be
so
a late call up.
Yeah, could be one. Anyway, look. The West Tigers are riding a wave of positivity after their 2 wins, but it doesn't matter. I think the Roosters are going to do a number on them. They are trending in a really good direction, and I think they're going to want to hold on to their top 4 spot, is that if I'm correct? Yep, and try push for potentially a top 2 spot. But top 4 at worst is where you want to be. It gives you that life in the first round, the potential bye. And I think they just got too much talent and too good. So I'm going to go Roosters, final score. Let's go, I don't know, 30-8 to the Roosters. I'll hand it over to you.
Yeah, look, the Tigers showed brilliance in attack last week when they held the ball. And we've always said that about this team, though. If they kept the errors out of their game, they'd be a pretty formidable side. But the Roosters, they play the Roosters, and the Roosters are probably one of the most disciplined teams behind the Panthers and the Storm. So don't expect them to give you any freebies. Stefano, where will you go? If you come to the Broncos for like 100K, you'll be the man. We'll win grand finals straight away. But realistically, where do I see you going? Probably land up somewhere, maybe. Do the Panthers, do they suss both those Tiger boys? What happened to the other bro?
What?
Papali'i.
He's injured, is he not?
Signed a contract and he's done for the season. To be fair, that's actually benefited these Tigers because now they can start looking at combinations that they're actually going to use next year. And that's what I'm going to kind of talk about in this little segment here with Stefano looking to leave. Let him leave. If he wants to leave Tessamaka, he might get less, he might get more. But if he doesn't want to be at the Tigers, let him leave. If you don't want to build a culture around signing people for the most amount of money that you think are going to make shit work at the team. You got to let them go. If they don't have a desire to play for the team, then they're not worthy. You need players like Uppy, who doesn't really care. He's going to play game in and game out. Stefano, great player. He can really move through the middle, but move him on, free up cap space, go on the open market, look at your rookies, look at your development pathways, look to rebuild the team that way. Over to the Roosters, man, I reckon Joey Manu's due a big, big game, eh? Tigers, they're not known for their defense, and almost everyone except for, who was it last week? The Raiders have really pumped the Tigers this season. So the Roosters will be looking forward to just playing a really disciplined game, get Joey Manu going early and often. Tedesco probably score some tries off a sweep play. Maybe even opens up for Cool Runnings there. Cool Runnings probably score 4. We've seen quite a few players scoring 4 tries so far this season. Does Cool Runnings get 4 playing against this Tigers team? And who's he going up against? Oh, he'll be going up against Fa'atape. Maybe he can get that 4. Because, you know, two will probably come off a long break, and then two will come off like just a short ball from Joey Manu, and he just dives over the line. So, hey, there you go, Fano, because, you know, Tommy Talol scored 4, Alofiana Khan Pereira scored 4. Who else can score 4? Let's find out. But that's me. I'm going the Roosters. You know, I never really talk too much about these Roosters. I've hated them ever since I can remember. The only time I kind of liked them was when they had Sean Kenny-Dowell, and then he left, and I never liked them again. So, yeah, Roosters begrudgingly. But that's it for round 17 previews. Let's head over to the TAB real quick and give you guys a wrap up. Sorry, this is a long episode, but hey, if you're still with us, we appreciate you. These are the bits you want to get on, Etefano. I'm about to win you 10 grand with this one. So here's my bets. Our TAB bets this week are presented by it's presented by PlayStation. What's the slogan? PlayStation. Experience everything. Or is it PlayStation? No, it's sponsored by EA Sports. It's in the game. EA Sports. Bringing you the latest and greatest in sports gaming. They've got UFC 5, Madden 24. They've got Madden College 24. So go check out EA Sports. It's in the game. All right, here's my TAB bets for this week. Etefano. So I've gone all try scorers, and this is how it looks. Game 1, Bulldogs versus Sharks. We're going Royce Hunt off the bench. Warriors versus Broncos. We're going Dean Mariner on the wing. Knights versus Eels. I was about to say Knights. I was about to pronounce the K. Bradman Best from centre. We've got Storm versus Raiders. I'm going with Katoa to score. The Dragons and Dolphins. We're going with Faitala Mariner to score. Like I said, on those edges, baby. Penrith Panthers versus the Cowboys. We're going with Taruva. And then the final game, Roosters and Tigers. We're going Joey Manu. $10 on that brings home $10,801.
God damn. If you watch this podcast, you know how I bet. We just keep it short and simple over here, straight head to head. We've gone with mainly the favourites. It looks like we have the Sharks over my Bulldogs, Broncos over the Wars. Oh, I switched that to the Knights. Yeah, get out of here, Parramatta. We don't want you. Oh, this makes this bet look even sadder. The Knights over the Eels. We've got the Storm and a dominant victory over the Raiders. The Dolphins getting past the Dragons. Penrith smoking Cowboys, and the Roosters doing one on the West Tigers. Unfortunately, $10 will only get you $160, but hopefully that's $160 in the kitty in the bank.
Nice. That's all you need, really. But hey, look, if you watch the show, if you listen to the show often enough, you'd know that don't listen to us and our dumb bits. Have any of yours come off this season? Because I know for a fact I'm at 100% loss streak. I've won $0. I've won more on the lotto than I have in the TAB. So that's saying something, Fano. If you want to win money, don't listen to my bets. It is what it is. And, you know, some people have luck and some people are just handsome, I guess. But that's it. That's all we've got for tonight's show. Thank you so much for listening. It's a long one, I know, because we've got an Origin recap. We've got a round 17 preview. There's a lot going on, but I thank you and I appreciate you so much for sticking through this with us. Hey, if it was a long show for you, it was a long night for us recording this. Just remember that. But thank you all so much. That's it from me. I'm going to throw it over to Tu for the final words.
Yes, and as always, we want to thank you for those who are supporting us, both near and far. We really do appreciate it. And yes, like I already said, sticking around, especially for these longer episodes. But, you know, we're trying to do the here. You know, we're trying to do the practice run and get better. And I feel as though we slowly are, but it will take time. But again, we just want to thank you for the support. Again, if you're following us, give us a like and share on all of our platforms, everywhere we are. If you listen to us on YouTube, feel free to comment on our videos, if you're listening to us on Spotify, thank you for the support, and wherever else we are, we appreciate it. But we'll leave you there. We got some big games to watch on the weekend. It's going to be a long one, but we'll get the job done, and we will see everyone on Tuesday night. So until then, see you then, whānau. Everyone be safe. Cheer to the cheer. Mā te wā.